Hello, everyone, and welcome. Jon Martin. I am glad to be with you today down at the Farm Bureau Annual Luncheon, and we have it every Thanksgiving. And let me tell you, people don't appreciate our farmers like we should, because without them, hey, we wouldn't be looking like this, would we?
And as you can tell, I do very well, and I certainly appreciate our farmers and what they do for our community and our families.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm so glad you're running for Senate District 20. We were sorry to lose Senator Tollison after serving so many years, and I know we both loved him dearly and will continue to support him, but we've had an opening in that seat now, and you have thrown your hat in the ring. I have seen you everywhere. So you've been out working, haven't you, brother?
Yeah, it's been, with a special election, it's such a short time window to December the 1st. Mm-hmm. So you really got to hit the ground running. We've been all over Lawrence County, Bleckley, Pulaski, and Howson County. And as you know, that's a lot of territory to cover. But, boy, it's been enjoyable meeting the people, talking to them at breakfast, lunch, on the side of the road. It's been a real pleasure, and so far I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. And the election's next Tuesday, folks. You got to get out and vote. But one thing, Jon, knowing you and us hanging around the ball field, and of course you got two beautiful children, Carson and Charlie Grace, and of course your wife Jennifer, about the best thing about you.
That's true. Very true. Very true. Very true.
But I see you everywhere, and one thing I always associate with your name is community. I know you love this community.
Yeah, we've been here raising our kids. This is home for them. They love it. It's a great place to live, work, and play. The community here is special. I think everyone that comes through here recognizes that. You talk about things like St. Patrick's. Mm-hmm. I mean, people all over Georgia know us for that big event, and it's just a great community to live in, and looking forward to representing it further in this Senate race.
One thing that stands out when you first came by my office, and you were running for county commissioner at the time, and it's always stuck in my head, your campaign slogan, solutions, not excuses. And that's what I like about you. We don't need no excuses. The world's full of excuses, aren't they?
Yeah, and part of that was the way I was raised. Mm-hmm. My dad raised me to have a good, strong work ethic, to work hard every day, to take care of the things you can control, and don't look for an easy way out. And I think that's very valuable. It's proven valuable to me as an employee and working at different locations. But I think it's something that we need to continue to hand down to our children. Work ethic is very, very valuable.
Absolutely. And I remember during the debates we had on TV 35, we were in a bad downturn economically. And as you know, when you were running, things wasn't that good. And you had to come in, and we got to have jobs. People got to work. We got to, there's house payments and groceries and raising our children. But jobs were important to you then, and I know jobs are important to you now, aren't they?
As I travel through the district and talk to people, that's the number one thing on their mind is jobs. And we are so blessed to be here in Dublin-Lawrence County, where our economic development group has done a great job. Our city and our county work so well together to try to make sure we're in a position to attract new industries to our community. And the great thing is, since being in commission office, we've had over 900 new jobs.
That's right.
And I believe we're on the cusp of having more announcements that are very close into the future. That's not one individual person getting that done, but it's the community working together, looking at the future, planning for it, and then making it happen when the opportunity is on the table.
And that's the great thing about the community we live in and raising our children, and of course my grandchildren, but our development authority, our downtown development authority, our Chamber of Commerce, our county commissioners, and Lance Jones and the Dublin City Council. Everybody, when it's something good, everybody jumps in there, rolls their sleeves up, don't they? And you've seen it and work.
Firsthand, seeing us be able to go to the table where we're recruiting an industry to come to Dublin, and we're down to the final 2 site locations. And oftentimes, James, we're not talking about another community in Georgia. We're talking about a community in Mississippi, Kentucky, South Carolina. And for our our city and county to be able to be together and go into that and close the deal and make decision and make things happen. That's what set us apart in so many of these industries we've had come to town, is our ability to get things done. And I think that's the spirit that we have here in Lawrence County, and I think it's going to continue forward.
Of course, your background coaching and teaching, and of course you work at Gayco with being at Gay now, but I think that's what makes you competitive. And of course, you are a winner now. I have to say, we can't deny the man's not a winner. You won your first race as county commissioner. You worked really hard for David Perdue and his Senate campaign, and you and your family did. So we're on a roll here. Yeah,
we hope we can keep it going. And James, you know, the key is you got to have good people around you, whether it's in business or whether you're talking about coaching or you're dealing with a campaign. A lot of times you can have a candidate that's a great candidate and qualified, but they have to have the support around them to be able to carry their message out for the candidate and support them in so many ways. And I'm proud to have been a part of David Perdue's campaign and getting involved in that early with him. And he's been a gracious friend through all of that, and certainly glad that we were able to support him. Just hope that we can get the ball across the finish line as well.
That's right. And don't you think that will help you in being our next state senator? Being able to pick up the phone, call David Perdue, being able to pick up the phone, call Governor Deal, Matt Hatchett, and people like that. That's got to help you.
You know, I think the key is you can't undervalue the experience of being on the county commission. I've been through the Carl Vinson Institute for Certified Commissioners, being able to sit there and go through the budget year by year, being able to sit with our commissioners and listen to them and the wisdom that they have. That ability to be able to understand state and local government, but then also to be able to pick up the phone and talk to somebody like a David Perdue or Matt Hatchett's great friend, stay in contact with him all the time on issues. And I believe that will help us moving forward into the Senate position.
And with jobs, I really believe you got to have an educated workforce, and education is also on the front burner. A lot of people I talk to, and we're fortunate here. Oconee Fall Line Technical College, Middle Georgia College. We've got Georgia Southwestern here. We've got so many ways, because everybody's not meant for college. And we got to be training people to go to Eldridge and DNX and
that's correct.
And the people coming in the future. So I know education's important to you.
Well, and when I'm around talking with teachers, you know, the thing that's happened with our education, we've had so many changes, initiatives, reforms, No Child Left Behind, the Common Core, Georgia Milestone Testing. Our teachers can't get their feet under them and know where the goal is and stay focused and move forward. We've got to help our teachers in our classrooms to be able to, let's plot a course and let's stick to it. But then also the importance of getting that training once you've made a decision on, hey, I want to go to school and become a welder. That is a valuable skill to have, and we need more of those type, as well as CNC operators. These things, the technical skills, are becoming more and more valuable. As we recruit industries in, they're looking for those types of skill set. We need to make sure our workforce is prepared and ready.
Well, I know you're very conservative in your thinking, and you'll be very conservative in Atlanta, but I know you're proud of being endorsed by the Georgia Right to Life.
Yeah, you know, my wife and I, we experienced a stillbirth at 8.5 months. Life is something that is precious to us, as I believe to all. But having Georgia Right to Life is endorsing us. I'm humbled by it, and I believe in the sanctity of life from birth to the end of life. And we're proud to be a part of what they're trying to get accomplished and want to be a good representative for them in the state Senate, because life is very, very important.
And that's a very personal issue to a lot of us. Another personal issue I want you to address is the attacks has been drawn on West Lawrence High School, Mr. Dukes, and people not wanting us to pray and play Amazing Grace and how great they are. That's just beyond me. I hit up would upset anybody, but how does that make you feel when you hear things like that?
Well, I think one thing is we better understand we're under attack for our beliefs. You know, having the situation with prayer and trying to do a silent prayer, and that certainly went very, very well. But the threatening of a lawsuit, and then to turn around because you play notes, okay, not lyrics, but notes of Amazing Grace before we play the national anthem, then that becomes offensive. I was always raised, listen, what makes music good or bad is the lyrics, the words, not the notes. So one thing we better do is those of us in Middle Georgia with the values that we've been raised with, we better stand up and fight for what we believe in, because people are trying to take it away every day. I don't want my children to be raised in a community where prayer is offensive or even music like Amazing Grace. But we've got to fight for it and be willing to do it and take a stand.
Yeah, got to stand up. And finally, we are here. I started out talking to you. We're here for the Georgia Farm Bureau luncheon. You know, a lot of people think we get groceries from the grocery store. It don't work that way, does it?
No, sir, it doesn't. You know, talking with some of the guys in our Sunday school class, the peanuts, you know, they're trying to harvest them. We've had a lot of rain, and what the farmers go through, the labor that they put in, then trying to get that product to the market, but then the things that they can't control. You know, you can't control the rain. Yeah. God's in control of that.
We've had that.
But our farmers, they just work hard, always have. We appreciate them and what they do for us and what they do for our community, but also for our state. Agribusiness is big for us in Georgia, and we want to appreciate them, and certainly we're friends to them.
And very last thing, we vote Tuesday. What do you want to say to that person sitting there? Probably be a low turnout. You got to get the vote out. What do you want to say to that person?
Well, I think the key is, you know, if you're looking for an establishment candidate that's going to go to Atlanta and get in line, then I'm not your guy. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for somebody that's a true conservative that will stand up and fight for you in Atlanta and remember who put him in that seat, then I'm the guy that you want to vote for. I certainly would appreciate your vote. I hope you'll consider voting for me on December 1st. We do expect a low turnout. Please understand every vote counts, and get out and vote and take a friend with you.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Every vote does count. And Jon is our only Lawrence County boy, so we need to get out and support you. And we appreciate you putting your name in the hat and getting out and working so hard.
Thank you, James. I appreciate all that you do for our community as well as TV 35, and glad to be a part of what you guys are doing.
Well, please, y'all, please get out and vote this Tuesday. Election, 7 in the morning to 7 in the afternoon. Please get out and vote.